Annual organizational meeting of the Sherburne County Board of Commissioners. This is the annual organizational meeting for calendar year and fiscal year 2024. I would ask that you please join me by standing, if you are able, for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. My name is Bruce Messelt. I serve as the county administrator and will facilitate the beginning of the organizational meeting. The second item of business is to approve the regular meeting proposed agenda. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion is moved. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Danielowski. Is there any discussion on the proposed agenda? Seeing none and noting that we do have a remote attendance commissioner, I will conduct a roll call vote. Commissioner Danielowski?
Aye.
Commissioner Felber?
Aye.
Commissioner Gray?
Aye.
Commissioner Phoebe?
Aye.
Commissioner Hulls? Commissioner Hulls is not with us yet. The proposed regular meeting agenda is approved. Moving on to item number 2, election of board chairperson. Annually, the chairperson of the County Board of Commissioners is elected among the commissioners. At this time, I will entertain a nomination for serving as board chair. Do we have a nomination?
I nominate Commissioner Felber.
Commissioner Phoebe nominates Commissioner Felber.
I second. Oops, sorry, go ahead, give it.
I'll second that.
Seconded by Commissioner Gray. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Seeing none, I will close nominations. We will conduct a roll call vote on a slate. It includes only Commissioner Felber to serve as 2023 or 2024 board chair. Commissioner Gray?
Aye.
Commissioner Phoebe?
Aye.
Commissioner Hulls? Still coming online?
He is showing online. Greg, can you, or Andrew, can you hear us? Looks like he's muted.
Okay, we'll come back to him. Commissioner Danielowski?
Aye.
Commissioner Felber?
Abstain.
Abstain. And we'll wait. Commissioner Hulls, are you able to hear us at this time? Do you want to try to unmute him there?
I don't see him as muted.
Okay.
I'll try to chat him, see if he responds that way.
At this time, we'll continue. Commissioner Hulls is abstain or not present. So Commissioner Felber, you are elected board chair. Congratulations.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda will be the election of the vice chairperson. Annually, we do that also. I would entertain a nomination at this point for vice chairperson.
I nominate Commissioner Gray.
Dan Lowski makes a motion.
I second.
Commissioner Phoebe seconds it. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Seeing no other nominations, I will close nominations for election of vice chairperson with Commissioner Gray being the only candidate. The roll call vote, Commissioner Danilowski.
Aye.
Commissioner Gray.
Abstain.
Commissioner Phoebe.
Aye.
Commissioner Hults.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye.
Board Chair?
Motion carries.
Board Chair? Can I
yeah.
please get repeated who had the second? I was dealing with technology and I didn't hear the second.
Commissioner Phoebe.
I was the second.
Thank you.
That passes. So just want to say briefly at this point in time, it's been an honor to serve the county this last year. as commissioner. It's also been an honor to work with Commissioner Philby as the board chair. She did a great job. She did a great example of leadership. I hope to be able to do the same for the next year that I am the board chair. Thank you very much. Our next item on the agenda is open forum. Has anyone signed up for open forum?
Chair, nobody has signed up for open forum this morning.
Okay, close that then. Our next item up will be the consent agenda. I haven't heard of any changes to the consent agenda, so at this point I would entertain a motion to pass the consent agenda.
So move.
Commissioner Gray
I'll second.
and Commissioner Philby seconds. So, Commissioner Haltz,
Aye.
Commissioner Danilowski,
Aye.
Commissioner Gray,
Aye.
Commissioner Philby,
Aye.
and I vote aye. Passes unanimously. Next item up on the agenda will be announcements. Mr. Messel, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the commission. Happy New Year to everybody, and well wishes for a prosperous and successful 2024. Just a couple of quick announcements. First of all, correspondence. I do have in your packet a letter from the Minnesota Department of Human Services regarding the single federal audit going on from 2022. Essentially what the state is saying to you is that they will follow the corrective action plan that was prepared for the county and the department pursuant to our own audit. So just more of a housekeeping item. Second of all, just looking at upcoming activities, a note for the county board that we do have the couple of January activities that want to be aware of. If you're planning on attending the MICA annual meeting, if you would let Keisha know, that's not listed as upcoming meetings, but it is important for us to know. That is quite a distance as well, so if you're interested in either carpooling or staying overnight, also let us know as it's down in Winona. Also then, just a note that we'll be pursuing additional workshops here coming up, and we're happy to announce, Keisha, that we are going to actually have our tobacco workshop finally. So staff has been preparing that over the last year, and as things have taken precedence, it's taken a back seat, but we're excited about that. And then just a note that with the colder weather, of course, county staff has been out making sure the roads are appropriately salted and sanded, and we'll be watching that very closely here as winter progresses. That's all I have for announcements.
Thank you, Mr. Messel. Next item is a regular agenda at 7.1. Consider approval of a contract amendment to the solid waste budget for provision of services for non-permitted site cleanup program. Mr. Lucas, good morning.
Morning, Mr. Chair, members of the board. So in front of you is a request to approve a non-permitted site residential cleanup program and sign a contract for provision of services that would allow for cleanup of Deb and Stephen Crick's property. They live in the city of Elk River. The non-permitted site cleanup program is a program that was developed, I think, back in 2015 for the purpose of cleaning up old dump sites that property owners may have, that they're not aware of and they themselves did not contribute towards. When they move into a property, sometimes you go in your backyard. If that development used to be an old farm site, sometimes it's not uncommon for to find a surprise in your backyard, which in the case of Deb and Steve Crick, they did. They found an old farm dump in the backyard. This program was set up to use solid waste monies as a cost share to clean up that waste. Encourage the right thing to do, because we all know that we have sandy soils, high water table in our county. So cleaning up an old farm dump is a very costly venture. So this cost share is used to incentivize homeowners to do the right thing. It's a sliding scale, so the more the cost, the higher the percent towards the county, the lower the cost to the property owner to incentivize the right thing to do. So If there are any questions of me, Jillian is here to talk specifically about this actual application. And Deb Crick, one of the homeowners, is here too, if there's any questions on the homeowner's part.
Thank you.
Board Chair, members of the board, good morning. Dave mostly touched on everything. One of the things that I would like to add about this specific project is the reason that this program is being looked into is because a lot of the garbage that's buried is half buried on the property, and the Cricks don't have the proper equipment to be able to remove it on their own, so they're hiring a contractor to be able to get that done. So that's one of the main reasons that this program is available to them, and they're taking advantage of it. So if you had any questions about this specific project, I'm happy to answer them.
Does anyone have any questions at this point?
Just to clarify, Mr. Chair,
Thank
that money comes out of the solid waste fund that is gathered by people that, for the tipping fees and such that we collect for these kinds of purposes.
That's correct, and it exists as a cost share, so the county pays for part of it and the property owner is responsible for the rest of it.
Yep. So this is a non-levy impact.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Dave or Jillian, just out of curiosity, being a new board member only a year on, how often does this come up?
This would be the first one that we've done this year. I think last year we did one or two.
One last year, so one or two a year, maybe at most? Okay, all right.
Other questions? Then at this point, I would look for a motion to approve a non-permitted site residential cleanup cost share program contract for provision of services for Stephen and Deborah Crick, property located at 13175 Elgin Drive, Elk River, and authorize payment for the county's percent of the cleanup cost in the amount not to exceed $39,822.64, amending Fund 21391-772-00006807 to increase the current budget amount from $25,000 to $75,000.
Mr.
So
Chair,
moved.
I'll second.
Okay, Commissioner Danilowski.
I think it was Halls.
Oh, he was first? Okay, Commissioner Holtz, and then Commissioner Phobie on the second. All right, vote. Commissioner Phobie,
Aye.
Commissioner Holtz,
Aye.
Commissioner Danilowski,
Aye.
Commissioner Gray,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. Passes unanimously.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 7.2, consider approval of resolution number 010224 AD-3125 in support of Becker City's active transportation grant for County State Aid Highway 23 Trail. Morning, Andrew.
Morning, Mr. Chair, County Board members. Thanks for the opportunity to present this item to the County Board. We're before you this morning to look for some support for a trail along County State Aid Highway 23 in conjunction with a rehabilitation reconstruction project that we have scheduled for 2025. With the support of this, or with this resolution, we will be supporting an application for the city of Becker to submit to the Active Transportation Program, which is a federal grant solicitation program specifically for trails to help improve community connectivity, improve safety along our roadways for all of the multimodal users within our roadways. Specifically for this trail, it extends from Edgewood Street up to 103rd within the city of Becker, as well as Becker Township. What this does is it connects essentially all of the city of Becker to their city park, as well as the county park system, as well as a number of homes located north of the city park and the county park within the township. We've identified about 130 homes in direct proximity of this trail. I did do a quick research of crashes that we've had within the last 5 years, and we have had 2 bicycle crashes as well as 1 pedestrian crash along this specific segment of roadways. So we're looking for discussion and approval of the support resolution. And again, this is just supporting the city to apply, knowing that they are in the process, I believe, if not already become a state aid city.
Thank you. At this point, we'd entertain a motion to consider approval of resolution number 010224-AD3123 in support of sponsoring the Surface Transportation Block Grant Program for County Road 44 improvements in the city of Elk River. Becker. Sorry. I just read the wrong one. I'm sorry. County Resolution 010224-AD3125 in support of Becker City's active transportation grant for County State Aid Trail 23.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Danilowski makes motion.
I'll second it.
Commissioner Gray seconds. Is there any further discussion on the motion? Hearing no discussion, Commissioner Holtz. How do you vote? Aye. Commissioner Danilowski.
Aye.
Commissioner Gray.
Aye.
Commissioner Phobie.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. The motion passes unanimously. The next item up will be the Resolution 010224-AD3123 in support of sponsoring the Surface Transportation Block Grant Program for County Road 44 improvements in the city of Elk River.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll be handling this one as well. David Rodell is actually on a surprise birthday trip from his wife. So it is his birthday today, and he's out of state visiting some childhood friends that his wife arranged. So when he gets back, maybe wish him a belated happy birthday. So appreciate the opportunity to bring this forward as well. This as well is a support resolution for the Surface Transportation Block Grant Program for our County Road 44 project, which we currently have slated and scheduled for construction in 2025. We do have, I apologize. We do have this currently scheduled and arranged for funding, but we have an opportunity here to receive some federal dollars in the amount of about $2 million. That tends to be about the sweet spot for this application, knowing that for the entire region, there's only about $3.5 to $4 million for a number of other counties and a very rigorous application process. So with that, we're looking for consideration of the approval for $2 million so that we can submit the STBGP grant application for County Road 44.
Thank you very much. Then I guess at this point, we'll entertain a motion for consider the approval of resolution number 010224-AD3123 in support of sponsoring the Surface Transportation Block Grant for County Road improvements in the city of Elk River.
So moved.
Commissioner Holtz moves.
I'll second it.
Commissioner Gray seconds. Is there any further discussion? Okay. Commissioner Danilowski, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Gray.
Aye.
Commissioner Phobie.
Aye.
Commissioner Holtz.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is item 7.4, review and consider approval and awarding of bids for the 2024 official county publications.
Good morning, Commissioners and Chairman. Congratulations. I do have a handout here I want to hand out to everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, good morning. As the RBA has indicated, this is the review and the awarding for our 2024 publication for our official county publications. This would be for the Commissioners' Proceedings, the delinquent tax listing, the 2023 financial statement, and the alternate 2023 financial statement. And these are all presented, separately. So what we're going, the notifications were sent out and put in the paper. We received the 2 bids back, and they came back by Wednesday, December 20th at 4:30 p.m. So low bid of each category would be determined by a calculation from the Minnesota Attorney's Legal Counsel. That's based on the price per line per column inch. So the information that I sent, or just handed out to you, and I didn't realize Commissioner Hulls was going to be not in person, but, so I believe Bruce is taking a picture of it and sending it to him. So what I handed out is just our prior year's publication expenses, so you can kind of see which ones have been awarded for which years, from 2014 through 2023, and the cost for those individual publications that were done by each of those entities. The second page on there is actually our bid sheet, and this is the calculation that we go through, and for each of the bids that were put in, and we put all the information in here, and it creates a formula and gives us the price per inch for each of the publications. So just giving you a little bit of background, that's the information and stuff that we provided for you. Also in your packet, there was a request from Star News to present a letter from, to you, to the county board, indicating for the bids for 2024 county publications. This is what Star News had written. We would like to give the county board commissioners more information about the requester newspapers so that they are more informed about the distribution of the Star News has in Sherburne County. The Star News is a free requester newspaper, which means residents simply fill out a card or sign up online to let us know that they'd like to receive the paper at no cost in their mailbox each week. Prior to the March of 2022, the Star News was delivered to 20,000 newspaper tubes, whether to the residents wanted the paper or not. As of December 23rd, we're printing 9,664 copies of the Star News because our requesting subscribers are interested in local government, schools, and human interest news that we cover, as well as advertising and public notices. 7,215 of those papers are mailed in Sherburne County in the Elk River, Zimmerman, Big Lake area, and available at convenient newsstands locations within that area as well. The Patriot uses our old distribution model to distribute to residents who may or may not want the paper. The Star News is reaching residents in Sherburne County who are interested in keeping up with their community news. All of our public notices are available online, and which had 32,745 unique visitors in October of 2023. And that was signed from their business manager. She just wanted to provide additional information to you. So the report sheet that we're looking at, the summary for the bids for our 2024 publications, we would be doing, I gave you a summary of the costs and for each of the publications that we are required to bid for. And we've got the bids from the Patriot News and the Elk River Star News. On the very bottom of that, there's information on the circulation for each of those papers. So with that, we can now award, or the board can award, the bids for each of those proceedings.
What
So
are the wishes?
the first one, we'll just take them down right in line then. So for the delinquent tax list, we've got a bid of Patriot News of $3.75 per inch. The Elk River Star News is $3.49 per inch. What is the wish of the board?
Mr. Chair, I'll move to approve the Elk River Star News at $3.49 per inch for our delinquent tax list.
Commissioner Phobie moves. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Commissioner Gray seconds it. Are there any other discussion? Okay. Hearing no discussion. Commissioner Gray, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Phobie?
Aye.
Commissioner Holtz?
Aye.
Commissioner Danlowski?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Unanimous.
Thank you. Thanks. The next one will be the awarding for the financial statement publication. We received a bid for the Patriot News of $12.50 per inch. The Star News did not bid that publication. They said they would pay, or they would charge, if they were awarded at $25.25 per inch.
Wishes of the board on this one?
Mr. Chair, I'll move to approve the Patriot News for listing our financial statement at $12.50 per inch.
Mr. Chair, I'll second.
Okay. Commissioner Phobie moves. Commissioner Danlowski seconds. Is there any additional discussion on this matter? Hearing none. Commissioner Holtz, how do you vote?
Aye. Aye.
Commissioner Danlowski?
Aye.
Commissioner Gray?
Aye.
Commissioner Phobie?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Unanimous.
Thank you. The next publication will be, awarding will be the alternate publication for the financial statement. The Patriot News put in a bid of $12.50 per inch, and the Elk River Star News put a bid in of $11 per inch.
Okay, what are the
Mr.
wishes
Chair?
of the board in this matter?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I'd make a motion to approve the Elk River Star News at, for the alternate publication of financial statement at $11 per inch.
Okay, Commissioner Holtz moves.
I'll second that.
Commissioner Gray seconds. Is there any further discussion on this matter? Hearing none. Commissioner Danlowski, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Gray, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Phobie?
Aye.
Commissioner Holtz?
Aye.
And the board votes aye. The motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. And the next awarding of bids will be for the commissioner proceedings for 2024. The Patriot News put in a bid in of $3.50 per inch, and the Elk River Star News put a bid in of $3.24 per inch.
What are the wishes of the board for this one?
Mr. Chair, I will motion to approve the $3.24 per inch from the Elk River Star News for our commissioner proceedings.
Commissioner Danlowski makes the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Commissioner Phobie seconds. Is there any further discussion on this matter?
Mr. Chair, if I may just make a few comments that I really appreciate the coverage of both newspapers. With our county being so spread out, it's challenging. You know, the Patriot, people over in my area of the world don't see the Patriot much. If you look at the zip codes they cover, it's not. So we do our best to, we appreciate the bids. We appreciate the
Correct, we do.
coverage of both papers, the best that they can do with this big county that we have. So just want to thank them.
Thank you very much. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none. Commissioner Gray, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Phobie?
Aye.
Commissioner Hulse?
Aye.
Commissioner Danlowski?
Aye.
The chair votes aye. Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, thank you very much for that. I will be notifying our department heads of our official publication then for 2024 and letting the bidders know of the awarding of the bids too. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Next up is item 7.5, consider a petition to approve formation of the Eagle Lake Improvement District.
Good morning, Commissioners. The county has received a petition to approve the formation of an Eagle Lake Improvement District. A public hearing was held on December 9th, and the county board is required to act within 30 days. Staff has prepared a proposed order for the board's consideration, and that was included in the packet. If the board were to approve the formation of the LID, the board would then be required to appoint a board of directors at an upcoming county board meeting.
Thank you very much. What is the board's wish on this matter? Does anybody want to make a motion? Mr. Messel?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the commission. Just a quick note, there had been a question on the board about membership on the board of directors. And so Mr. Syme did research statute. That is included in the resolution. And so the statute does dictate that members of the LID board do have to be property owners, and at least half of those members have to live in that property at least half of the year. That's the statutory requirement. So that is reflected in your resolution.
Statute, I think it's 133B something. Any further other questions on this matter? Would someone like to make a motion in this matter?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
I'll make a motion to approve the petition to establish the Eagle Lake Improvement District, otherwise known as ELID.
Commissioner Danilowski makes the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Commissioner Gray seconds. Is there any further discussion?
Mr. Chair?
Yes, ma'am.
I know that, thank you. I know that a lot of work went into getting this petition out and meeting with the residents that will be impacted by what happens on the lake and the quality of the lake. And so I just want to thank everybody for their concerns on making sure that they're doing everything they can to help Big Eagle Lake stay healthy. Thank you.
Any other discussion or comments? Okay. Commissioner Phobie, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Haltz?
Aye.
Commissioner Danilowski?
Aye.
Commissioner Gray?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Item 7.6, review and discuss and approve the 2024 committee assignments. Mr. Messel?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the commission. As discussed in last year, we did put together the proposed commissioner committee assignments worksheet for you for 2024. I would note for the record, we did miss one thing on page 3 under the Central Mississippi Regional River Planning Partnership. We omitted for 2024 commissioners to include Commissioner Greg Felber as the alternate. So if you would be willing to pen that in, that would be the staff's recommendation. With that, Keisha and I stand ready to address any questions you have. Pending your final review and any changes you make, we would recommend approval today. If you're unable to approve today, then what we would suggest is that you consider temporary appointments for January so we don't miss any January meetings. And with that, I'll check on Mr. Syme's knee to make sure he's okay.
Okay. What are the wishes of the board in this matter? Would somebody like to?
Quick question, what are the yellows? Are those,
Yellows are any changes that have been made for the 2024 from 2023. I did not include updating all of the, or highlighting all the updated meeting dates because I thought that would look a little too.
Jeff Johnson.
But all of the meeting dates have been updated. For the most part, I think there might be like one we're waiting for because they haven't approved their annual meeting schedule yet. But other than that, everything should be updated for 2024.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Quick question, and then you will notify all of the entities of any changes for representation on their boards from our county.
Correct. We'll notify any entity that we have communications with.
Right, thank you.
thanks for that.
Mr. Messel?
On that note, I should note too, for Commissioner Danilowski, following on your question, with respect to the AMC policy committees, there are 5 of those. You can see the assignments. We do have 8 voting delegates for AMC. Traditionally, it's been the 5 commissioners, and then the county engineer, county health and human services director, and county administrator to round out our 8. Those are not reflected here, but just want you to note. Also, any other AMC appointments we can add throughout the year if they're not noted here. Those would be other types of committees.
Otherwise, we'll be just keeping our AMC committees that we were on from previous last year.
Correct.
Okay.
Any additional discussion?
Mr. Chair, under AMC Futures Leadership, that I will be the 2024 person there. So is that what that is, Bruce? Okay,
Add that in.
it's on the second to the last page.
Okay. Any other additions or commentary? Wants a few minutes to take a look through it.
Okay, so we don't have the AMC policy committees on here anymore.
They're on the front page, very first,
Page.
and they're
Got it, okay, great. Mr. Chair, just curious, do we want to add AMC Board of Directors?
we can sure do that on that same page. So
Yeah.
commissioners who are appointed, yeah.
That was elected, so it's an elected
I'm sorry, not appointed, elected, yeah.
AMC Board of Directors.
That would be you.
That'd be me.
That'd be you.
Starts in a week. I'll let you know how it goes.
Self-inflicted.
Kind of,
Yeah.
yes. All for the good of the cause.
Yep.
Okay,
I'm good with them. Unless there's some changes, I move to approve our committee appointments for 2024.
Commissioner Gray moves for approval. Is there a second?
I'll second, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Danilowski, seconds. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. Commissioner Holtz, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Danilowski?
Aye.
Commissioner Gray?
Aye.
Commissioner Philby?
aye.
And the chair votes aye. Motion passes unanimously. We've got a big year ahead of us now. Next item on the agenda would be commissioner correspondence, committee reports, upcoming meetings, future agenda items. Who would like to start? Anyone?
I'll start, Mr.
Okay.
Chair. Thank you. Just want to look at one thing here. I can. Sorry, I thought I was ready. Yes, I am. So on the 20th, attended the Two Inlets at Bede Hahaka Amashkus Ans Regional Parkland Development Committee, my last one. So, but I'll still be an alternate if either of you can't make it. So, I went to the Baldwin Township public hearing on their incorporation. It was very well attended, a good meeting. It is in the newspaper. People would like to read about it. We're still working on the executive director search for TRICARE, so the search team met. I joined the Team Emmer call. I joined the NACO Rural Caucus call just prior to Christmas. The Sherburne County Multidisciplinary Team. And as I've said before, this is a group of our Sheriff's Office, our Health and Human Services, Corrections, and County Attorney's Office, where they discuss some of our toughest, challenging cases, and just interesting to hear all of them and what they bring to the table and how they try to problem solve with different people to make their lives better, make less cost to the taxpayer. And I'm just blown away by those meetings. So feel privileged to sit in those, and I think we'll all get a chance at some point. And then TRICAP met. TRICAP is our CAP agency. The two things that we discussed, in addition to lots of end-of-year things, were our end-of-the-year community needs assessment, which they base their goals and their plans on for the next year. And then they are in the middle of a diversity, equity, inclusion staff training. So that was presented at that board. And that's it.
Commissioner Holtz?
Yeah, first of all, I just want to wish everybody a happy new year. Now that we're moving into 2024, and I look forward to working with the board as it is in 2024. Relatively light couple of weeks due to the holidays, but we did have the Sherburne County Economic Development Authority meeting on the 21st, and we're continuing to work through our major concerns in that area, specifically around housing and workforce housing and those sort of things. And then I also attended the Emmer, the Team Emmer call that afternoon, and with that, that's my update.
Thank you. Commissioner Danilowski?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Attended on December 19th, the NACO Central Region meeting via Zoom. That's just a connect to a lot of counties across the country, and it's always good to hear what the different issues are, and it's amazing how a lot of our issues are so similar across the county, and how you get some really good ideas and good information. On the 20th, I attended the SUP Coalition meeting, Substance Use Prevention. That's always a good meeting. They're working hard to always try to figure out how to keep substance abuse down, especially in our youth. And so I'm really happy to be a part of that group as well. They do a lot of great work. We have a lot of really great people that are invested in working through those issues. Attended with Jessica Bartle, our economic development person, a BNI group meeting. Did a really good presentation. Jessica has a really good slide, and it's amazing how a lot of these businesses are not aware of what the county can offer in helping them. So it's great that Jessica is out there working on getting that information out to our small businesses, and they were just very receptive, and I think she made some good connections. So if anybody knows of any of the BNI groups that are working in your district and stuff, I highly recommend encouraging them to reach out to Jessica.
I should know this, BNI.
Business networking, I'm not quite sure what the I is
Okay.
for. Every community has at least one usually, if not a few more. And they're just a networking organization
And
of
it's not the
businesses.
chamber.
No, separate from the chamber.
Okay.
Yep, and there's usually, they're very active in getting their information out and stuff. So they were really, really receptive. Fun group of people. And then on the 21st, attended the county EDA meeting that Andrew referred to. After that, the Safe Child Coalition and Family Resource Center meeting. That basically, they did a recap of our visit to a family resource center, and it was a good meeting, lot of interaction and stuff. So we keep working towards developing that family resource center for our county. Also attended the Team Emmer monthly Zoom call meeting. And I do want to say Happy New Year to everybody. And of course, limited meetings over this period of time due to the holidays. So that's my update. Thank you.
Commissioner Gray?
Yeah, first off, I'd like to congratulate Commissioner Felber on his appointment to being the chairman, and I look forward to being your vice chair all year, if you'll have me for the whole year. I'd like to thank Commissioner Phobie for her year of service as our chair in 2023. It was tremendous, and she was a great leader during that time. I did December 20th, the 2 inlets at Bideh Hadaka Amish Gush Regional Park. Did that meeting. The Soil and Water Conservation tree sale starts on January 11th. They did their meeting on the 21st. I also did the Emmer call on December 21st with that. And on a couple of notes, for the Extension Committee, Tyler Rice, the crop specialist, has resigned and moved on. So I've been in contact with Lori Vici about replacing him and working with the University of Minnesota, so we're working through that to get that replacement. Hopefully, we could have someone in place by the upcoming crop season. And on a sad note, Stuart Nelson, longtime standing township supervisor for Santiago Township, passed away on Christmas. His funeral and wake services stuff is this evening, so want to wish the best for his family. So, and that's all I had, exactly with the same light schedule over the holidays.
Thank you, Commissioner Gray, and congratulations to you for vice chair. It's going to be a good year. I feel it. So basically, didn't have a whole lot the last couple of weeks. I did listen into the Pope Douglas meeting, the actual Pope Douglas board, because I'm on the Tri-County Solid Waste Committee, and the Pope Douglas facility is what we support a lot. That was interesting just to hear that. Hadn't listened to their meetings before. They had apparently Excel just did a PFAS study on the PFAS materials that are coming out of the smokestacks, and at least on the Excel ones, it was reducing 99.9% of what's coming out of the stack. So those things do actually burn very clean. I did listen on the Emmer call with everyone else here. Gary already covered what's happening with the Extension Committee, and other than that, I just did a lot of research reading on aquifers and some justice issues. So that's basically my 2 weeks. And of course, once again, Happy New Year to everyone.
Mr. Chair, as long as we're having kind of this group hug up here, sorry you're not here, Andrew, but I too want to congratulate you on your appointment, your election, and vice chair, and just grateful for this last year together in elected office and on boards like this. You get what you get. You get what the election, and I believe we all come at it from a different angle and different perspective and different background, and that's what makes it very rich. And I appreciate that we had some of the best discussions I've had at this dais in 7 years, and didn't always agree on everything, and I think that's really important. And we walked away with treating with each other with respect and integrity. And I'm looking forward to your leadership, both of you, and being a part of this team for this next year. So, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
ditto all of that.
Thank you very much.
The group hug continues.
The group hug continues. And a virtual hug even too, so we got all that going. So at this point, we're going to recess the regular meeting and take a break. We are significantly ahead of schedule, it appears. Can we move the Regional Rail Authority meeting up to 10:05?
I don't see why not.
Or do we have to keep it as posted?
Do we add?
What was that?
Hold on.
I would have asked this question in advance, but I did not anticipate that we'd be this far ahead.
You're so smooth, that's why.
I don't think that's the reason, but
Maybe we
nonetheless.
should continue the group hug. Have more comments about ourselves.
Andrew, aren't you glad you're in Florida right now? You're moving.
So glad he's muted.
Yeah, we can
You
move
have
it
no
up.
idea how
We can
happy I
move to
am.
10:05?
10:05.
All right, so then we will recess at this point in time, take a break till 10:05, when we will open the Regional Rail Authority meeting. Thank you. 5. At this point, I would call to order the Regional Rail Authority meeting for January 2nd, 2024. The first item on the agenda is the approval of the regular meeting proposed agenda. Wishes of the board in this matter?
Mr. Chair, I'll motion to approve the regular meeting proposed agenda.
Mr. Danilowski, motions?
I'll second that.
Mr. Gray, seconds. Any further discussion on this issue? Hearing none. Commissioner, let me see, where am I at here? Commissioner Gray, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Phobie?
Aye.
Commissioner Haltz?
Aye.
Commissioner Danilowski?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Motion passes unanimously. Election of the 2024 officers for the Regional Rail Authority. Do I hear any nominations?
Mr. Chair, as in past practice, I nominate our current board chair, Commissioner Felber.
I'll second.
Commissioner Phobie makes a nomination. Commissioner Danilowski seconds. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Hearing none. Commissioner Gray, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Phobie?
Aye.
Commissioner Haltz?
Aye.
Might have done that one twice. Commissioner Danilowski?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Motion passes unanimously. Second item on the agenda is to, well, we have to vote for the vice chair. Nominate the vice chair. We accept the nomination for vice chair? Or do we do both in one?
What was your motion, just chair?
Just chair.
Okay, in the future, for the other ones, you can do chair and vice chair as a
Yeah.
slate, but
I
you
just
better do it
realized that we
separately.
hadn't done that, so.
Okay, so I nominate Commissioner Gray for vice chair.
I'll
A second.
Commissioner Haltz seconds, Commissioner Phobie nominates. Are there any other nominations? Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Hearing none, we'll close the nominations. Commissioner Phobie, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Haltz?
Aye.
Commissioner Danilowski?
Aye.
Commissioner Gray?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Motion passes unanimously. Next item, item 3 is to approve the Regional Rail Authority minutes from December 19th, 2023. Do I have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of December 19th as presented.
Commissioner Danilowski motions.
I'll second.
Commissioner Phobie seconds. Is there any further discussion on this matter? Commissioner Haltz, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Danilowski?
Aye.
Commissioner Gray?
Aye.
Commissioner Phobie?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Motion passes unanimously. Okay, we have that. Next item is to establish the 2024 Regional Rail Authority meeting schedule. Mr. Bessel, do you have any comments on this?
On this item, no. It's other than we will obviously follow the board meeting schedule as needed.
All right. Any other comments, or do I have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I'll move to approve the 2024 Regional Rail Authority meeting schedule to coincide with regular meetings of the Sherburne County Board of Commissioners.
Commissioner Phobie makes the motion. Does anybody have a
I'll
second?
second that.
Commissioner Gray seconds. Commissioner Danilowski, how do you vote?
Aye.
Could I ask if there's any discussion that I missed? Nope. Commissioner Gray, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Phobie?
Aye.
Commissioner Haltz?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Motion passes unanimously. The last item on this agenda is to set the next annual meeting of the Regional Rail Authority as January 7th, 2025. Can I entertain a motion at this time?
So move.
Commissioner Gray motions,
I'll second.
Commissioner Phobie seconds. Any further discussion?
Mr.
Hearing
Chair.
none?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
the Assistant County Attorney has opined that it would be better if we put a time for next year's annual meeting. So if we could put next annual meeting of the Regional Rail Authority as January 7th, 2025 at 9 a.m. or soon thereafter. If you could add that to the motion in the second.
I'll amend my motion to reflect what Mr. Administrator Messel just said.
Okay. Second to approve of that also?
Yes.
Okay. So the motion as amendment to set the next annual meeting of the Regional Rail Authority for January 7th, 2025 at 9 a.m. or as soon thereafter as possible. Commissioner Gray, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Phobie?
Aye.
Commissioner Haltz?
Aye.
Commissioner Danlowski?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Motion carries unanimously. I'll need a motion to adjourn the Regional Rail Authority meeting.
So move.
Second?
I'll second, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Commissioner, any further discussion? Commissioner Phobie, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Haltz?
Aye.
Commissioner Danlowski?
Aye.
Commissioner Gray?
Aye.
The chair votes aye. We will adjourn the Regional Rail Authority meeting, and then we will open the Housing Development Authority meeting in 10 minutes from now. This is the way it says on the schedule.
You can go ahead.
Just go ahead? All right. Well, then we'll open the Open Housing Development Authority meeting at this time. Okay. The first item is approval of the regular meeting proposed agenda. Can I get a motion on that?
Move approval?
Commissioner Phobie moves.
I'll second.
Commissioner Danlowski seconds. Any discussion on that? Hearing none. Commissioner Haltz, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Danlowski, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Gray?
Aye.
Commissioner Phobie?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Board passes motion unanimously. Next item on the agenda is election of the 2024 officers for the Housing and Redevelopment Authority. Can I get a motion on nominations?
Mr. Chair, I'll move approval of the 2024 chair for the Housing and Redevelopment Authority as Commissioner Felber and the vice chair as Commissioner Gray.
Commissioner Phobie makes the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Commissioner Danlowski seconds that. Any further discussion? Any other nominations? The nominations? Any other nominations? Hearing none. Commissioner Danlowski, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Gray?
Aye.
Commissioner Phobie?
Aye.
Commissioner Haltz?
Aye.
Standing. Approve the Housing and Redevelopment Authority meeting minutes from January 3rd, 2023. Can I get a motion on that?
So move.
Commissioner Gray makes the motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll second.
Commissioner Danlowski seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Commissioner Gray, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Phobie?
Aye.
Commissioner Haltz?
Aye.
Commissioner Danlowski?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion passes unanimously. Review and approve the 2024 Redevelopment Authority meeting schedule. Can I get a motion for that?
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion.
Commissioner Danlowski makes the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, Commissioner Gray seconds. I will be keeping the schedule the same as it is. Commissioner Phobie, how do you vote?
Aye.
Oops,
Mr. Chair, can I just ask one question before we vote?
yes, ma'am.
I'm not quite sure where to interject this at, but I would like to have us talk and explore about maybe enacting our HRA to be a bit more active, being as we're working on addressing housing issues and such, and I just didn't know where to put this in at.
I think if you're okay, we'll do it as a future workshop. And if needed, we can actually have the HRA convene a workshop. So the chair and vice chair of the HRA can call a workshop of the HRA, yeah.
Yeah, I really would like to see us get a little more active in looking at how we can enact our HRA to really address what we are working very hard in other areas to accomplish.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair.
I agree.
Yeah.
Good idea. So we are starting for this one with Commissioner Phobie.
Aye.
Commissioner Holtz,
Aye.
Commissioner Danlowski,
Aye.
Commissioner Gray,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. Motion passes unanimously. We're going to set the next annual meeting of the Housing and Redevelopment Authority for January 7th, 2025 at 9 a.m. or thereafter as available. Can I get a motion for that?
Move approval, Mr. Chair.
Second?
I'll second it.
Commissioner Phobie makes the motion. Commissioner Gray seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Commissioner Holtz, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Danlowski?
Aye.
Commissioner Gray?
Aye.
Commissioner Phobie?
Aye.
That takes care of this meeting agenda. Motion to adjourn the Housing and Redevelopment Authority meeting.
We don't need a motion.
Huh?
You can just
I
adjourn.
can just adjourn it? Okay. Well, then we will adjourn the Housing and Redevelopment Authority meeting.
That's kind of liking the votes on everything, though. That was pretty good.
Hey, he had us rolling. We weren't going to fall asleep.
Try. Let's see where we're at. So, I guess we're going to recess our regular meeting and we'll open the workshop, and we'll do the workshop here with Commissioner Hall's remote.